The impeachment trial will pull some of the Democratic candidates off the campaign trail. Senators Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, and Michael Bennet will all serve as silent jurors for the proceedings. Senator Cory Booker suspended his campaign last week. He says the trial contributed to his decision. Booker had picked up endorsements from most lawmakers in his home state of New Jersey. That includes Governor Phil Murphy, who joins me now. Governor Murphy is chair of the Democratic Governors Association. Governor, thanks so much for being with us.
Honored to be with you. Thanks for having me.
So you had been backing Senator Booker. Do you have plans to endorse another candidate soon?
I love Cory Booker. I still think he's going to be president of the United States. Obviously not this cycle. At the moment, no. We're collecting ourselves. This just happened. I just delivered our State of the State address a couple of days ago. We're gonna wait and see here a little bit, but I will tell you this: regardless of who our nominee is, I will lay across the tracks to get them elected president.
So you could endorse someone, just not in the near term, you think?
I think not in the near term. Exactly right.
So you chair the Democratic Governors Association. Then why are you choosing not to back a candidate at this particular point?
Well, I backed, as you suggested, Cory Booker from moment one. And I've known him for 15 or 20 years. I believe in him. I've also got a number of other candidates in this race who I think very highly of, but I don't think it's necessarily related or unrelated to being chair of the Democratic Governors Association. I'm focused first and foremost on the 11 states where we've got governors races this year in 2 territories. It's a very interesting map filled with a lot of opportunity, both holding on to what we've got in some cases and trying to pull 1 or 2 more over to our side. So that's my main focus.
Well, have any campaigns reached out to you? If so, which ones?
Campaigns reach out. We've been in touch with most of these campaigns for months and months and months, if not years. So nothing necessarily. There's no bright line between Cory's dropping or what we were doing last week in terms of being in touch. We know most of these folks. We've been in touch with them as a natural matter over the past months, if not years.
As you know, former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick is still in the race, but a few other Democratic governors have dropped out. Why do you think their campaigns did not resonate with voters, considering that they had executive experience?
You know, it's a good question. I'm not sure. There were a number of governors who tried and were not successful. Extraordinary talents, in my opinion. Jay Inslee, a good friend who's now running for re-election in the state of Washington, and we're all in supporting him. Governor Patrick's still in the race. Governor Hickenlooper, Governor Bullock. I do think historically executive experience has translated well. I also am still not sure I understand why Cory Booker didn't get to the promised land. It's a unique time in our country's history. Job number 1 is to beat Donald Trump. And job number 1A, in my case, is to get as many Democratic governors elected as possible, and that's what we're focused on.
I wonder, though, do you think it says something about the way in which the electorate values, or perhaps doesn't value, some might say, political experience?
I don't know. It's a very good question. You do have some chief executives still in the race, as you mentioned. Governor Patrick, Mayor Mike Bloomberg is still in the race. Vice President Biden, obviously somebody who helped run our government at the highest levels. I'm not sure I understand yet, but I do know this: we have to beat Donald Trump, and we have to elect Democratic governors.
Speaking of President Trump, New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew recently switched to the Republican Party. Let's listen to what he told President Trump last month when he made the decision official.
I guess what I say is I believe that this is just a better fit for me. This is who I am. It's who I always was, but there was more tolerance of moderate Democrats, of blue dog Democrats, of conservative Democrats, and I think that's going away. 2 more things I want to say. 1, you have my undying support.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And always.
And by the way, same way.
Thank you.
I'm endorsing him.
So President Trump is holding a rally in New Jersey later this month. Is there a place for moderates and conservatives in the Democratic Party?
Sure there are. I continue to believe we are still that big tent Democratic Party. and I believe we always have been and we always will be. I think what Jeff Van Drew did was outrageous. It was putting politics over the Constitution, convenience over courage. We've got, we won 4 of the 5 Republican House seats in New Jersey in 2018, including in some districts that are entirely purple, and we proved we could win there just as we were winning in deep blue districts on the very same day. I think we can prove that around the country as well, in governor's races as well as in the presidential. I just think what he did, what Van Drew did, was incredibly selfish. He's angered a lot of people, I can tell you that much. And my commitment and my strong passion is we're going to win that seat back come November.
Does it concern you that President Trump is focusing some of his attention on New Jersey by holding a rally, for instance, later this month there?
It does not concern me one bit.
You are confident, especially in that area where he's going, Wildwood. That's not at all anything that, politically speaking, you look at as a potentially worrisome sign.
Listen, it's a competitive race. I get that. By the way, there were already Republicans who were running in that race before Jeff Van Drew flipped. But I know where New Jersey's heartbeat is. The president's always welcome. He spends a lot of weekends in the summer months in New Jersey, as you know. But I have no concerns whatsoever with his coming to New Jersey.
So Representative Van Drew says he mainly switched parties due to impeachment. Do you believe President Trump should be removed from office?
I think here's what I believe in. That's above my pay grade, to be frank with you. I believe that Nancy Pelosi has done an extraordinary job in the process. Secondly, I'm a former United States ambassador, in my case, to the Federal Republic of Germany. What was done, if we believe all this to be true, is outrageous. The targeting that has come out recently of Masha Jovanovic, who I worked with, is outrageous and unacceptable and un-American. And thirdly, I implore the Senate to have a real hearing of the facts, including bringing witnesses in who have something to add, and to not proceeding with what is essentially otherwise going to be a cover-up.
Back on the question of endorsement for just a moment. I know you said you're not making a decision on that in the near term. What are the factors that you're going to be weighing? Are you looking, for instance, to see what happens with Iowa and New Hampshire before you decide, for instance?
Again, it's too early to tell, honestly. I wasn't expecting Cory to drop when he did, or if at all. It happened on Monday. As I mentioned, I just delivered my State of the State address. We're still collecting ourselves and trying to figure out which way we go forward. So I think we need more time on the clock, and we'll see how that plays out. But again, I repeat, number one, obsessed with whoever our nominee is becoming president of the United States, and secondly, focused full-time when I'm not running the state of New Jersey on getting Democrats elected as governors around the country.
Okay, before we let you go, I have to ask you about the state of New Jersey's Twitter account, in which I believe the retort, quote, "your mom," is currently the pinned tweet with 494,000 likes. Why does the Garden State have a Twitter account, Governor?
I think it's great. We're now in an all-out bagel war with New York, so all heck is breaking loose. Listen, it's 2 reasons. One is we are the state of attitude. New Jersey's got attitude, and I love that. It's one of our core traits, and I think showing a little of that attitude, particularly trying to pull in young folks, is a cool thing in and of itself. More importantly, frankly, though, if you pull folks in who may not otherwise be paying attention to some of the policy discussions that are going on, I think you do a really good thing for civic society, getting folks engaged, particularly young folks. So I love the attitude. We're going to stay at it. And as I say, we're in an all-out bagel war with New York. So watch that space.
All right, we will. Governor Phil Murphy, Governor, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.